for the table even more, we bring in our MLB expert, Matt Snyder. I want to get your picks on a few key categories, Matt, but first, after so much talk of X's and O's leading up to the game one, let's take a stroll away from that. Talk mascots for a second. The Phillies have Phillie Phanatic, a member of the Mascot Hall of Fame, for those who might not know. Astros counter with Orbit. He rejoined the team in 2012 after first being seen in 1990. Which one is the better mascot?
I think I got to go with the Fanatic here. It's vintage. He's a Hall of Famer. I'm not the biggest mascot fan in the world, so I'll just have to go with the legend here. And as you can see, we've seen plenty from the Phillie Phanatic over the years, and I actually think there's crossover appeal on the Fanatic. I actually think people who are not baseball fans have actually heard of the Phillie Phanatic, so I think we got to go with the legend here.
Yeah, the Phillie Phanatic certainly very, very recognizable. He's in the Mascot Hall of Fame. That's located in Whiting, Indiana. They have 25 inductees. The Phanatic is a big creature out there. 6'6", 300 pounds, could be a great offensive tackle if you wanted to from the Galapagos Islands. Really can do it done and makes the people happy, gets the people excited. So I think we like a lot of that. Let's get back to talking real ball, though. The long ball, of course, always key in the playoffs. Who was your pick for who will have the most home runs during the World Series?
Well, I'm going to go off the board a little bit. At least it might seem that way. But I'm going to go with Jose Altuve. He's actually second in career postseason home runs in all of baseball history after Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez has 29. Jose Altuve has 22, second all time. He went 0 for 25 to start the playoffs. And I know that's not exactly confidence inspiring, but I think that says to me that he's about to get hot. He got a couple hits in the last game there, and I know it was a blooper and an infield hit, but I think he's just about to break loose. And when he does get hot in the postseason, he gets really hot. We've seen him turn series on their head before. He's had so many big home runs in the playoffs, a couple big ones in the 2017 World Series against the Dodgers that helped turn the series around, including one in Game 5, the biggest World Series game that I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going to go off the board with Jose. I know that it might be a bit of a ridiculous pick in the minds of some when you have guys like Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper and Yordan Alvarez, but I'm going with the little guy.
Altuve has 4 homers in 20 career World Series games. Looking at pitching for both sides, they have their rotation set probably exactly how they would want it to be. Which pitcher do you think will have the most strikeouts?
Well, I'm actually going chalk on this one. I'm going Justin Verlander. He struck out 11 against the Yankees in Game 1 last round. That gave him 8 career double-digit strikeout games in the playoffs. That's a playoff record. Nobody else has more than 6. That's only Clayton Kershaw, by the way. Nobody else other than Kershaw and Verlander has more than 5. So I think that this series is going to go at least 5 games, maybe 7. But when we go to Game 5, Verlander is going to get his second start. I think with the 2 starts, he's the easy pick for the most strikeouts.
If Verlander gets the most strikeouts, that probably means he also picks up his very first World Series win of his career since he's entering 0-7. Let's switch it over and go to overall look World Series MVP. Bryce Harper, the favorite, 5-1 odds, but you're thinking differently here?
I am. Well, since I said Altuve is going to hit the most home runs, and I have the Astros in 6, that's already been established, I have to go with Jose there. Plus 1,400, pretty good odds on that. I'm going to go with Altuve. Like I said, probably don't need to break it down much more since I already said he's going to hit the most home runs. If I have the Astros winning and he hits the most home runs, he's probably the easy pick there.
Astros in 6, what is it that you like about Houston to be able to get this done?
They're just a much better team. They're firing on all cylinders right now. They've won 7 in a row. Nobody in playoff history has ever won more than 8 in a row. That was the 2014 Royals. I think tonight we're going to see the Astros tie that mark. And, coming off a sweep of the Yankees with the starting pitching they have, with the bullpen they have, if the offense gets going at all, this is a no-brainer. I do think that the Phillies are on a special run, and they've been great fun to watch, and they're going to get a couple games. I don't think the Astros are going to run the table, but the Astros are just better. They've been one of the best teams in baseball throughout the entire season. They've been the best team in the American League throughout the entire season. I think it's time that they get back to the top of the mountain and get Dusty Baker his first ring as a manager.
You mentioned that run that the Phillies are on right now after struggling in the regular season and kind of just squeaking their way into the postseason, being the number 3 team in the NL East. What do they have to do to have a shot to actually win this title?
They've got a slug, I think. The Astros starting pitchers and bullpen, as I mentioned, are so good that they're not going to be able to string hits together. So when they get a runner or two on, they've got to hit a home run. It's just as simple as that. And then on the pitching end, their bullpen, they've got to get a lot more help from guys other than Sir Anthony Dominguez and Jose Alvarado. They've got to have a deep bullpen here. Wheeler and Nola have to do their jobs in their starts. It's a tall order. They've got to be almost perfect. It's possible. It's possible that they can go out and get this, but they're going to have everybody kind of doing their job and firing at all cylinders.
Yeah, not many would have predicted that the Phillies would be here at this stage of the season right now, but hey, Astros have been powerful all year, so we'll have to see. That's why they play the games. He's Matt Snyder. Thanks for checking in with us. Game 1 of the World Series tonight at 8:03 Eastern. Those first two games of the series tonight and then tomorrow, both will be in Houston. The Phillies, though, when we switch over to Philadelphia for games 3, 4, and a possible 5, Phillies are an undefeated 5-0 in the postseason.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.